Hadad, Dada, David, and Dido. In a curious and interesting passage in his Hibbert Lectures, Professor Sayce indicates resemblances between the name Hadad, Dada, the abbreviated form of the name Abd Hadad, who reigned at Hierapolis in the 4th century, Queen Dido of Carthage, and that of the biblical David. Speaking of Hadad, he says, "He was, as I have said, the supreme Baal, or sun god, from Carchemish to Edom and Palestine. At Damascus, he was adored under the Assyrian name of Rimmon, and Zechariah alludes to the cult of the compound Hadad Rimmon in the close neighborhood of the great Canaanitish fortress Megiddo. Coins bear the name Abd Hadad, meaning the servant of Hadad, who reigned in the 4th century at Hierapolis. The later successor of Carchemish, and under the abbreviated form of Dada, Shalmaneser speaks of the god Dada of Aleppo, Kalman. The abbreviated form was used among the nations of the north. In the south, it was confounded with the Semite word, which appears in Syrian as Dadu, dear little child, although it could mean something else, especially when the child of Enki is named Enkidu. That would be his dear little child. Before I read the next part, the name Ben is ultimately derived from Mulban, the bow star from heaven, Ban, Banner, Ben, and the bow and stylus typically represent father and son. A dear little child. The information is leading us to a revelation concerning the birth of demons. Ban, Banner, Ben. This word, which we have in Bedad, or Ben Dad, meaning the son of Dad. Interesting. Professor Sayce. I really do love the guy. He follows the son of Dad with the father of the question mark. Who or what? Edomite Hadad. We also have it in the David of the Old Testament, David or DOD, as the word ought to be read, which is sometimes written Dodo, similar to the elusive dodo bird. David or DOD, with the vocalic suffix of the nominative. This would be important. Shamash dwells within Ishtar. What we have is the shell of a goddess, but the role is really possessed by a demon. The beloved sons of Baal were gods once demons. Dodo would be the masculine corresponding to a Phoenician goddess whose name means the beloved one, and who was called Dido by the writers from Rome. Dido, in fact, was the consort of the sun god, conceived as Tammuz, the beloved sun. Wow. I'm afraid this is how demons are born. Through utilizing popular culture. Sound familiar? Tammuz, the beloved sun, was the presiding deity of Carthage, whom legend confounded with Alicia, the fortress of the city. In the article I have alluded to, I expressed my conviction that the names Dido and David pointed to worship of the sun god. Oh shit. Under the title, The Beloved One. In southern Canaan, as well as in Phoenicia. The Beloved One. The beloved sons of Bel. Ooh, this is getting interesting, isn't it? A little bit creepy, but interesting nonetheless. Mr. Sayce and I share common ground. I see what he sees. And he continues, I had little idea how soon my belief would be verified. Within the last year, sometime between the 1920s and 40s, the squeeze of the Moabite Stone, now in the Louvre, has been subjected to a thorough examination by the German professors Sokin and Smend, with the result of correcting some of the received readings and filling up some of the lacuna, the empty spaces, which means the untranslated gaps. One of the most important discoveries that have been made is that the Israelites of the Northern Kingdom worshipped a dodo, or DOD, Death of Dumuzi. By the side of this name, that should never be spoken aloud, like Voldemort. Or rather, that they adored the supreme god under the name Dodo, as well as that of under that one. Misha, the Moabite king, in describing the victories, which his god Shamash, oh my word, Shamash, that would be Shamash, the sun god, the god who enabled victories over his Israelitish foes. This tells us that he had carried away from Atarath the RL, or altar, of Dodo, and dragged it before Shamash, and from Nebu, the RLs, or altars, of that one, which he likewise dragged before Shamash. Hold on a minute. So does that mean the altar of David was transferred? Yes, it does. And originally belonged to Nebu, who stood beside Marduk, Merodach, the container. David would also be a container, as is Dido, Dodi, and Dada. Here the arrow, or altar, of Dodo is placed in the Paralisium, with the arrows of that one, and it is quite clear that Dodo, like that one, was a name under which the deity was worshipped by the people of the land. I have suggested that DOD, or Dodo, was an old title for the supreme god in the Jesuit Jerusalem. The god of pre-Jerusalem is righteousness, the morning star, the mace, Sayce. And he mentions that Isaiah, when describing Jerusalem as the tower of the vineyard of the Lord, had been planted in Israel. And Isaiah calls him Dodi, my beloved. Me, my, gives my beloved a negative implication. We can easily understand how a name of the kind with such significance should have been transferred by popular affection from the deity to the king, of whom it is said that all Israel and Judah loved him, which would be the same as Shamash Hadad, meaning the royalty and nobility of Israel and Judah continued the practice. The beloved sons of Bel, gods, once demons.